Hello everyone, Southgate Music here. How are you getting on? As you can see, I have a rather nice tweed guitar case in my hands. So let's get ourselves zoomed in a bit and see what's inside. So as you can see, a very nice tweed hard case. So let's pop it open and I'll show you the beast that is inside. So what we have here is a 1956 American Vintage Stratocaster in black with a maple neck, as you can probably see. Absolutely gorgeous guitar. So I'll zoom in and get a close-up on the guitar for you. So before we get to hearing some of the sounds that this guitar can make, I thought I'd just give you a close-up of some of the case candy, because it's all really cool vintage style stuff that you get in the case with this guitar. Okay, so here's some of the stuff that you get inside the case. You get a vintage style cable, nice sort of grey. I mean, it's not the most practical cable in the world, but it's cool that it's kind of just, you know, you imagine that this is a cable straight out of the 50s. The reason it's not very practical is when it's plugged into the jack, it's very difficult to remove, because this grip part here isn't very long. Like on modern leads, it kind of comes out a bit. It's much easier to pull out, but it was really hard to pull it out of the jack socket without sort of pulling on the lead itself. So not the most practical cable in the world, but it's cool that it's vintage style. Same thing goes with the strap, really. You get this leather guitar strap, which is quite nice, but again, it's not the most comfortable guitar strap in the world. You've got some sort of padding here, but I just found that it was hurting my shoulder when I had it on. So again, cool that it's like a period correct piece, but not so practical. But the thing I found most cool about the case candy is just the style of it. You get this envelope, and then it's got these typewritten instructions for the tremolo adjustments. It's probably written by George Fullerton himself, in, you know, the actual instructions that you would have got in a 50s Stratocaster. And then you also get things like Tremolo Springs. They come in a nice envelope with this vintage style writing on it. So you get your trem springs and a little Allen key for the bridge saddles. You also, for those who are sort of really keen on their vintage style Strats, you get a three-way pickup selector, because when the Strat first came out, it didn't have a five-way switch. It had a three-way switch. So those of us who were sort of really keen on the vintage accuracy of our Strats, we could wire this in and actually have an accurate three-way pickup selector switch. You get this. You also get this cleaning cloth, which comes in a sort of wax sealed bit of paper, which I just think, you know, it just looks vintage. And yeah, got a nice vintage Fender logo on the cloth. So that's the case candy. Let's get on to seeing how this guitar sounds. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about this particular model of Strat. Basically, what Fender have done is taken an actual 56 Stratocaster, gone over all the measurements and the sort of the winding on the pickups and all the different things that kind of make that particular year of guitar unique. And you know, they've taken the best examples and they've recreated it as accurately as they possibly can. And I mean, the level of detail on this guitar is quite extreme. For instance, the bridge saddles, they actually say patent pending on them, which obviously now Fender have actually got the patent for those bridge saddle designs, but back then they didn't, so they've replicated that. So the 56 Strat, when the Strat first came out in 1954, It had a single ply pick guard like this does, but it was made from Bakelite, which was extremely brittle and would actually, when you look at pictures of 54 Strats, that it would chip. The Bakelite, on the pickup covers would break off. So I think 56, they changed the plastic on the pick guard and the pickup covers and the knobs and everything to be something more resilient. On the 54 Strat, you'd have like a button-shaped string tree on the headstock, whereas the 56 has this sort of wibbly-shaped one. I think that's the first year they introduced that. Yeah, and I suppose it's like the first year that Fender got the Strat completely right after they sort of had that slight flaw with the plastic on the pick guards. The neck is a soft V profile. Now, I would say that some people would find this neck uncomfortable, because when I first picked it up, it did feel rather chunky in the hand. It felt sort of, compared to the C profile on my 60s Classic Series Strat, this is like a baseball bat basically. But it does feel incredibly good. It's got the 7¼ inch radius on the fretboard and small frets like most vintage style Strats do. Yeah, feels really nice in the hand. Like I say, it's not going to be the sort of guitar for people who are really into shredding and all that sort of thing, because the neck is so chunky and it's got that radius which some people might have difficulty with. But I don't think, this guitar is for that market of guitar players. It's for people like me who are basically nerds about Strats and want something nice and vintage to play. Right, so we're on the bridge pickup. Sorry, we're on the neck pickup, and I'm going through my Marshall DSL 15C, and it's on a clean with a little bit of reverb. So let's just get some of those sounds. And we'll put a bit of distortion on it with a Plimsoll by Full Tone. Alright, let's go into the neck and middle position with a bit of clean first. And with the Plimsoll on again. to the middle pickup. Bit of clean to start off with. And then with the plimsoll. For the middle and bridge pickups. And with the plimsoll on. And lastly, we have the bridge pickup. And finally, the bridge pickup with the plimsoll. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this guitar. It is, as far as my understanding goes, an extremely good replica of a 1956 Strat. I mean, perhaps the only thing which isn't precisely accurate would be the finish. I mean, this is a lacquer finish, but I don't think it's legal anymore to finish guitars in the same sort of lacquer that they used in the 1950s, so that might be slightly different, but this is still a thin lacquer, so it's going to age nicely like those vintage Strats do. One thing I like is the selector switch. Like other Strats I've had don't really seem to have a definite click when you put it into place, but this really does, so I don't think there's any sort of ambiguity as to which position you've got the selector in, whereas other Strats I've had, it's kind of like you're not sure whether you're on the neck position or position 2 or whatever, so that's really nice. Yeah, and just a fantastic guitar. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learnt something, and anyone who's looking to buy one of these guitars has some sort of better idea of how it sounds and how it feels and what the American Vintage range is all about. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos of me playing this particular guitar, because I'm sure I'll be playing it a lot in future videos. Thank you ever so much for watching, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.